Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today or this evening or, whatever time it is that you are tuning in? Hey, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Are You Listening? So today, and I'm going to get right to it, today, we are discussing something that's important. I don't know, public service announcement. I don't know if it's more of a, hey, this is something we need to address, but it's a little bit more on a concerning and serious topic today. And today we're talking about mental health. And I guess the reason why I want to talk about this today is because having experienced issues myself and people I care about, friends and family and whatnot, it's a concerning thing that is on the rise, especially in recent years. There's been an increasing acknowledgement of the important role mental health plays in achieving global development goals, such as illustrated by inclusion of mental health and sustainable development goals worldwide. I mean, depression is one of the leading causes of disability. Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death amongst 15 to 29-year-olds. People with severe mental health conditions die prematurely as much as 2 decades early due to preventative physical conditions. And mental health generally is something that can be addressed. It is something that can be addressed. I mean, many mental health conditions can be effectively treated at relatively a low cost. Yet the gap between people needing care and those with access to care remains substantial. Effective treatment coverage remains extremely low, unfortunately. I mean, increasing investment is required on all fronts for mental health awareness to increase understanding and to reduce stigma, for efforts to increase access to quality mental health care and effective treatments, and also for the research to identify new treatments and improve existing treatments for all mental disorders. And don't get me wrong, mental health is becoming more acceptable in the sense that people are more aware of it these days, but there's still some sort of stigma that, it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. We all go through a level of it. I don't care who you are. I don't care what level you're in, how much money you have in the bank. I don't care your station in life. We all, we all of us. If anybody tells you they've never had any level of mental health conditions, they are full of shit. Everybody. Seriously, stress, anxiety, that's still on a lower end, but it is still considered mental health. So this is why I want to talk about this today, because it's concerning. Because there's a lot of people that aren't getting help. And because of that, they're out in the world not realizing they have a problem. And you see it lash out in a lot of different areas. You see people with mental health issues lashing out in stores. You see people on the road that shouldn't be driving that obviously have mental health issues that need treatment. They need to talk to someone. They need professional help. You see people in the malls. You see people at work. You see people at school. You see people in a whole bunch of different environments, that there are individuals that I'm pretty sure if you took a time to look around, you could see there's a lot more people than you realize that have mental health issues that need help. I mean, mental health conditions are increasing worldwide, mainly because of demographic changes. There has been a 13% rise in mental health conditions and substance use disorder in the last decade to 2017. Mental health conditions now cause 1 in 5 years lived with disability. About 20% of the world's children and adolescents have a mental health condition. 20%, with suicide the second leading cause of death from mid to teens to early 30s. Approximately 1 in 5 people in post-conflict settings have a mental health condition. Mental health conditions can have a substantial effect on all areas of life, such as school or work performance, relationships with family, relationships with friends, family, and the ability to participate in the community. 2 of the most common mental health conditions, anxiety and depression, cost the global economy $1 trillion, say it with me one time, $1 trillion each year. Despite these figures, the global median of government health expenditure that goes to mental health is less than 2%. We need to look at this a little more at all different levels. We were talking from anything as minor as it could be stress and anxiety upwards to later on in life. I mean, yes, dementia and Alzheimer's. It's considered mental health as well. We need to actually put more resources and money into all levels of this because it's concerning. Because if these people don't get the treatment that they need, if they don't need get the help that they need, I mean, other than the fact that we already have a shortage of doctors for medical health, not mental health, but just medical health, we need to actually focus money and resources into mental health. We need more psychiatrists, more psychologists, more therapists of many different kinds to be able to talk to people to help them through, because we have to pinpoint where the issue is. Okay, so before I get into more of this, hey, you know what? Please check out themadmorgan.com. Yes, themadmorgan.com. I'm going to be adding a forum to that and possibly some sort of social platform. I'm working on that because I want to hear what you have to say. I'm also probably going to get a Discord going, but I want to hear what you have to say. I want some of your feedback. I know I get emails from some of you and I appreciate that. I know I have some followers that are coming over from Soapbox Nation, from my Get Off My Soapbox days and also Soapbox Daily, and I appreciate that. I appreciate those followers and fans of mine that have been following along with me over my career, over the years, and thank you very much for being here. A shout out to Steve. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate the last email you got. It kept me going. You know, that was really inspirational, and I also want to thank Michelle as well, because Michelle, you know, you said the most lovely things and it really helps me out. So I know there's plenty more that I could mention. I do apologize, but there's two of you stuck in my head when I was thinking about it today when I was putting together today's episode. And I'm like, you know what? Those two just stuck. And there's a lot of you that have sent some really kind, supportive things. I appreciate that. And you've also, your donations have been to keep us going. I appreciate that. Been very helpful. We can use all the financial support we can in order to grow the brand, grow the Mad Morgan, network, get Mad Morgan out there, more people to know about us, in line with, of course, Soapbox Nation. So thank you very much. But I just want to take a time. I know it's a little break from what our topic is today, but yes, check out themadmorgan.com. We have a small team right now, but, I'm trying to get that ball rolling. I've had some more resources, but stay tuned. I'll have that more. But more information, yes, check out themadmorgan.com. Themadmorgan.com. That's going to have all the resources. And also there's a place to support and everything else that's on there as well. So appreciate that ahead of time. Thank you very much. To my Soapbox Nation family and friends, thank you. I appreciate you. All right. So back to mental health. Now, mental health is one of those things that if you never had a severe case of it, it's really hard for you to relate, I find. I know for a fact, myself on the outside, I was very critical towards my sister who had mental health issues and still does to this day. For the longest time, I thought it was just a cry for attention. I thought it was just a cry for getting her own way or whatever the case may be. And it wasn't, me personally, it wasn't until I had a breakdown in 2018 that I started to understand more of what she's going through, of her experiences, of what she's been through. I mean, I had a really Alice in Wonderland type spiraling down the rabbit hole type experience, which was a chemical imbalance due to some supplements I took, and it had an adverse effect because I went through major withdrawal. But without getting into more details of it, I had such an experience that it was scary, but it was still enlightening in the sense that it helped me evolve. It helped me to understand a little more about how they manage, what they go through. Like, I mean, it was such a mind-opening experience and helped me grow as a person. And I apologized to my sister. I said, listen, I apologize. I was very critical of you for all these years and I didn't understand. But because of my own experiences now, I understand and I apologize. And since that time, it's like the floodgates opened, right? Since the floodgates opened and now I've experienced these mental health conditions, now I have to live with severe anxiety. I have to live with panic attacks. I have to live with a little bit of a sense of paranoia. I have to live with a bunch of stuff that I never had before until I had that point where those gates opened and I spiraled down the rabbit hole. Now, thankfully, I've had the resources over the last years since 2018. I actually sought it out a psychologist, and I was fortunate enough to get one because, there's very few out there. And then even if you find one, is actually finding one that you kind of vibe with, you kind of like, you get along. You can talk to this person and they will listen, and then you have that feeling that you can open up to this person, because just because they're in that role of psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist, counselor, whatever the case may be, doesn't mean you necessarily feel comfortable with them. So not only do you have a situation where there's not enough people in the field of mental health, then it's a numbers game of, hey, am I going to find somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can actually talk to? Because that's a whole different thing. If you don't feel it, that's difficult because you don't want to open up so much because you'll be on the defensive. But there's a lot of different reasons for mental health. And that's one thing that, I do want to touch bases on this. I do want to touch bases on the fact that mental health could be from a variety of different reasons. There's a chemical imbalance. Okay, that's one. There is a nurture. That's two. Like the way you're raised, experiences that you go through. There's three. You go through a traumatic situation. And as I said, I'm not a health professional. I'm just going by from what I've observed. So there's situations that cause your mental state to go out for whatever reason. And if it's chemical, okay. Do you have a valid reason for that? If it's nurture, something that you've learned because of bad experiences growing up, the way you were raised, the examples you were given, that can be altered by all means. And also, conditions, traumatic situations that you've been put in. I mean, everything is treatable. Everything is treatable. Whether or not it's a combination of a cocktail, as they call it, it's a combination of different medications and mood stabilizers and everything else. It's a combination of different medications and drugs. And we're talking legal drugs. It's a combination of those that actually help balance you out. It's a balancing point. You have a cocktail. I have a guy I work with. He has a cocktail and it helps him cope quite well. I always thought maybe I should have a cocktail, but I'm not at that point. But I have no problem with it. I have no problem with that. And if that's what you need to be balanced, by all means, let me tell you, my colleague I work with, he is so productive. He's loved by the company. He's a go-getter. He's go. Has a very successful life. He's invested in properties. It's one step to improving your life. And it can be such a big step. But until the governments and your local areas and everything else start putting money into more mental health resources, talk to somebody, just anybody, a good role model, somebody that you look up to that does things, that has a sense of integrity and has a sense of honor and does the right thing. Somebody like that you should look up to. And even talking to them, if they're willing to listen, which they most likely will, is a step in the right direction. If you are not in a position to talk to somebody at the professional level, if you're not able to get drugs, just talk to somebody. Don't take your problems out into the world and affect other people, because that's not fair. Okay. And I know you feel it's not fair what you're going through, but don't get behind a wheel of a car and be one of those idiots that add to the growing pile of morons on the road. I saw a guy today in some beat up old little pickup truck, blah, 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 just racing around, swerving in and out of traffic in Vanier. And I'm just like, you're just an idiot. You and your brown piece of crap freaking truck. And I look over at him, he's just wired. He's just wired. He wants to pick a fight. He's, you can tell the hamster's not spinning in the wheel anymore. He's just off his rocker. He has mental health conditions based on observation. He should not be on the road. He should not be. He should seek some serious help. He should talk to somebody. If he's having a bad day, don't take road rage. Don't take your issues and make them somebody else's. Talk to somebody. Get some professional help. Find a quiet corner. Find your balance. It's important. There are resources out there. And I'm going to be looking at getting some more documentation and some resources. I'm going to put them on themadmorgan.com in the resource section. I'm actually going to call the menu resources to help you out from wherever you are, to help you get some resources for your mental health conditions, even if you just need to talk to somebody. Okay, whether you're feeling down and depressed, or you have anxiety, or you're going through some challenges in life, or you just don't feel balanced. I mean, we all, and I'm going to tell you, you're not a weirdo. You're not wrong. We all have mental health conditions. All of us. So you're not, the oddity. We are all going through this. So but if you're not getting the help you need, then there needs to be more resources. There needs to be more help. And if it was within my means, and I'm hoping one day it is, I would give you the resources. I would give you the financing. I would give you everything I possibly could in order to help you get that. And one day I hope that myself as Mad Morgan can get to the point where I can cut you a check or get you the help you need based on my network. And I hope one day I can actually get there. But right now, still trying to get to that point. So the best I can do is offer you resources that I've found, I've researched, and hopefully they can help you with wherever you are in the world, help you move forward to deal with the issues that you got to deal with. But I want you to remember, please, you that's listening, going through some tough times, don't feel right in your thoughts in your head. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone in the sense that we're all going through this, okay? And there's help out there. There is. Somebody cares about you. Remember that. Somebody cares about you. And that's a reason to keep moving forward. Okay. So my conditions I've learned to deal with, but it's been a long process. Still been dealing with it since 2018. Still have anxiety, still have panic attacks. I still have methods that I'm learning to cope with, but I still have some paranoias. I still have some fears. I still have some other stuff I'm trying to struggle with, but it's a day-to-day process. As long as you move forward with some tools, and I'm going to give you a tool right now in today's episode just to help you hopefully work through this. And I'm hoping I'm getting this right, but I just do it on autopilot, but maybe this will help you out. I believe they refer to it as box breathing. So it's a matter of breathing in as much as you possibly can, like fill your lungs as much as you possibly can, and hold it as long as you can. Let's say 10, 20 seconds, and then letting it all out as much as you can, but don't breathe in right away. Let it out as much as you possibly can and hold that for at least 10, 20 seconds, and then repeat. But you have to do that hold. So it's like breathe in as much as you can, hold for about 20 seconds, 23 seconds if you can, depending on how long you can do it, but as long as you possibly can. And then you can hold that for about that time, and then you're going to let it all out. And you're going to keep doing that and you will most likely feel more balanced, more leveled out to be able to deal with wherever you're at. And I believe it's called box breathing. Feel free to Google it. It's a breathing technique that my psychologist told me about, and it works really well, I find. It's helped me through a lot of issues, and hopefully it'll help you out. So check out box breathing. I believe there's a Navy SEALs technique that's spot on, if not similar to. Check that out, box breathing. But these are just little techniques that aren't costly, don't require anybody else, but it just helps you get through that moment. It's frustrating when you're going through these internal thoughts you're struggling through your head, when you're going and dealing with all the craziness that's in the world today. Trying to get through the day to day, it can be very difficult, and I understand that. But keep moving forward, because I do believe that there is an answer for every problem out there. There is. I strongly believe that. There is an answer for every problem out there. Sometimes it just takes time and perseverance, but you can get and reach your goals to where you want to be. Now, I will ask one thing, and it's going to be difficult. Do not turn to drugs or alcohol, street drugs or alcohol, as a solution. It's more of a problem than anything else. Nowhere has it been, other than maybe the needed use of marijuana, not regularly, because I'm sorry, even marijuana has bad effects. And as much as I've heard that argument over the years, I know people that have become so dependent on marijuana that they get aggressive and violent when they don't have it. Okay. So don't tell me marijuana is not a problem. It could be a problem as well, but it's the harder stuff I'm more like referring to. Street drugs and alcohol, not a good mix. Nowhere has it been beneficial for anybody. Do your breathing, eat healthy, do what you can, but don't turn to that kind of stuff, because that's not helping you deal with the issue. Because I think it was one thing I've actually been told in the beginning when I started seeing my psychologist is that, he says, I can get you prescriptions for drugs and everything else through a psychiatrist, blah, 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 and we can mask the issue, or we can deal with the issue. And that was his approach. You can either mask it and hide it and put it away in a nice little box, or you can deal with the issues. And we chose to deal with the issues. And yeah, it's not a magic pill, but at least it helps me move forward and deal with other obstacles, other issues, but dealing with it, identifying it and dealing with it. And for some of you, that might not be easy. And I understand that, but sometimes you just need to turn somebody that's going to back you up, a friend, even if it's a mouse, somebody or something that's going to help you move forward to know that there's something something there for you or someone to help you get through. You can reach your goals. You can pull out of your situations that you're in. But I ask you, please, don't take your problems out in the rest of the world. Deal with your own problems. Don't be like that idiot I saw in the truck this morning, swerving in and out of traffic and threatening everybody else's lives and being aggressive and a big bully on the road. Don't be that asshole, all right? Be the better person. That person needs help. They're going to hurt somebody, probably even hurt themselves if they don't recognize that they need help because they have mental issues. Be the better person. Fix yourself to be safe for yourself, be safe for the world, be a productive member of society. That's all I'm going to ask you. Keep moving forward. So I'm not going to draw this out. This is important, people. This is important. If your life is balanced, if you are financially stable, if you're having a good life, if you are blessed to have all this stuff, please share the resources you have with others that are less fortunate, because there are people that are struggling in the day-to-day. If it's not having a roof over their head and food in their stomach, they're also dealing with mental issues, and that's not fun to deal with. It's probably one of the worst experiences I've been through. I'd rather have an accident where I broke my arm than have to deal with mental issues. It is a really scary proposition to go through. It's a really scary situation to go through when you're trapped in your own head and you're looking out. It looks like you're looking outside of somebody else's existence. Like it's like you're deep in a cave looking at a very small entrance. That was my experience, and I can imagine that some people go through that as well, but I've been dealing with it long term, and I can understand why they go off the rails. It's not fun. So if you are one of the fortunate people that are able to have those resources, please share with local charities, share with local shelters, try to help make the world a better place by sharing to make their lives better. Because let me tell you, I didn't understand until I went through it, and I hope nobody has to go through mental issues to the extreme. But if you're going to be one of those greedy bastards that doesn't care about the rest of the world and is so selfish that you just care about yourself and your own little existence, then I hope you experience mental issues. Now, that might sound mean, and some people might call me out on that bullshit, but I don't care. Because if you're one of those crappy people that is just greedy and selfish and mean to everybody else, I hope you go through a mental issue only to hopefully smarten you up, humble you up, and get you to be a better person. But still, it's not fun. But I'll tell you, it was an eye-opener for me. I hope those mean-spirited people that are greedy and selfish and everything else, I know it might sound mean for me to wish that on them, but yeah, I hope they go have an experience so they understand, so they come at it on the other end and go, oh, you know what? I'm going to help out people more because now I understand. So get ahead of the game. Help out where you can. We need more resources. We need more professionals. We need more doctors. We need more psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, counselors, blah. We'll see what we can do about getting on that. Okay. Other than that, hey, I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and I do want to thank you for tuning into today's episode. It's just something that was rattling around in my head because I constantly people watch. I look at the world out there. I shake my head so many times driving down the road. If it's not other drivers, it's people on the street. It's just watching the world around me. And I hope one day I can wake up to a world where people get their shit together and I don't have to shake my head. Like people actually do what they're supposed to. They don't try to break the law. They don't try to think that they're, so sneaky because they ran a freaking red light. Like have some integrity, people. Have some integrity and do the right thing. Just do the right thing. We're not going to evolve as a species until we all get our shit together. Do the right thing when no one else is watching. That's what integrity is. Have a sense of honor. Have a sense of pride for yourself and your fellow people, fellow men and women out there. Have some, because you give what you get and get what you give. Remember that. Help out others. Help out others. If you have the means, help out others on many different levels. Let's try to make everybody experience their best life possible. All right. I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Please check out themadmorgan.com. I'm going to be trying to work on that this weekend, adding a forum and also a social platform. Also, I'm going to try to get that resources menu up to this weekend as well, if possible. Other than that, hey, you know what? Take care of each other. Be good to each other out there. Keep your integrity in check, please. I know we're still trying to get the ball rolling. We're still trying to get more and more exposure. Help us out. Tell people about us. Donate if you can. And let's make this world a better place, folks. Let's evolve, educate, enlighten. Let's be the best we possibly can be and save this planet. All right, that's about it for today. I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next episode.